viewers, welcome once again to Nellai Money School. I am here to help you improve your understanding of money and personal finance, whatever be your age, gender, education or experience. The process is easy because the lessons are basic and very basic ABC in nature. In one of the earlier episodes, we had talked about interest rates and we'll continue the same subject in this episode. Understanding interest rates will help you assess whether the interest you get on your investment or the interest you pay on your loan is good or not. Towards the end, there will be a money quiz as usual. Please stay on. Please do subscribe and please do remember to press the bell icon so that you get notifications about this money school. Whether you are making an investment through a fixed deposit or taking a loan from a bank, we are talking about bank, not a financial institution, which is separate. We'll talk about the difference later. So the first thing you need to do is compare the options available to you. The options in terms of applicable interest rates. So today, if I did a survey, this is what I get. So what are the observations you can make looking at these figures? Number one, the interest the bank gives, the interest rates applicable on your deposits are always lower than the interest rates applicable on your loans. That is because the banks take your money, pull them together and give it to other people who want to borrow. So the business, the profit they make to the difference in interest rates, less the cost of compliance, the banks have to behave in a particular fashion in terms of how much of the deposit they can lend and how much they need to keep it themselves, cost of compliance and the cost of operations. So profit is the differential in the interest rate less the cost of compliance, less the operation cost. So that's one observation. You always get lower than what you pay in terms of interest rates when you deal with the bank. Second is there is always a range. So it makes sense for you to shop around before you decide. I'm not saying the interest rate is the only consideration, but it's important for you to understand the options available to you. And number three is the fact that if your loan is secure, like a home loan is more secure than a car loan, which is more secure than a personal loan. The loan is more secured, you ought to get a lower interest rates. Please remember these three observations. Now we'll talk about the concept of real interest rate. You've seen so many of those interest rates. Are they not real? Yeah, they are not real in a way. We'll try to understand why they are not called as real interest rates. To do that, we need to first understand inflation. What is inflation? Inflation is a sustained increase in prices of goods and services which we consume. So Government of India, under its Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, runs what is known as a Consumer Price Index, CPI. What it means is that the government or this department monitors the prices of several essential things, goods and services we consume. The government monitors the price of these things in 1,114 markets in 310 towns across the country, plus in 1,181 village markets. So this monitoring of prices across nearly 2,300 markets across the country is computed and released every month as an index. So this series of consumer price index has been historically kept in our country, and every month you can get this figure from this department. It's also published in newspapers. So you should be aware of this figure. It's available for the country as a whole, for a state, then urban area separately, rural area separately. So this is cost of inflation. So what your money buys today is less than what it used to buy last year. So what is real interest rate? It is nothing but the nominal interest rate given to you on your deposit by the bank minus the inflation percentage. So the interest rate offered by the bank is 5%. The inflation currently in India is 2.86%. So 5 minus 2.86% is equal to 2.14%. That is the real interest rate. Sometimes the real interest rates could be negative if the inflation is higher than the interest you get on your money. So the real interest rate is extremely important in the context of understanding interest rates on your investment. The second thing is risk-free interest rate. It is generally believed in stable countries like ours. So the interest rate paid by the government when it borrows money from others, that interest rate is known as risk-free interest rate, because stable governments will give back your money along with the interest due. And the government issues treasury bills or bonds and gives interest rates on those to the people who buy these bonds or treasury bills. These interest rates at this point in time vary from 6.44% per annum to 7.43% per annum for duration ranging from 91 days all the way up to 10 years. So the risk-free interest rate in India at this point in time ranges from 6.44% to 7.43%. You should be aware of this figure as well. The next percentage you should be aware of is depreciation. Nowadays we have expenditures in foreign exchange. We buy imported things. We send our kids to schools abroad and we go on foreign travel. So it's important to understand how the rupee behaves against a much more stable currency like the US dollar. Let's say last year this time the US dollar was quoting at 67.40 rupees per dollar, and today is 69.70 rupees per dollar. So the difference between the two, expressed as a percentage, is the depreciation of the rupee in a year's period of time. So in this case you can see the depreciation of the percentage calculated. This also plays an important role when you consider your interest rates. Okay, that's all for this episode. We have packed up quite a lot on how to shop for interest rates and compare the interest rates you get with cost of inflation to get the real interest rate. Then with the government given risk-free interest rate as well as the rupee depreciation against a stable currency like the US dollar. Now let's move on to the money quiz. The quiz for this week is: what is the difference between a government treasury bill and a government bond? Do write in your answers. People who give the correct answer, their names will appear in the 4th episode from this one. So thank you for listening. Goodbye. See you next week. Bye. Please subscribe.